Hey YouTubers, thank you for checking out today's video. For those of you that don't know us, I'm Trish.
And I'm Carolina.
We're with Just Dance, and in this series, we're gonna be going over tips to help you improve your posture, frame, connection, technique, and musicality in some of the common patterns of the East Coast swing. And in today's video, we're gonna be going over our technique and connection in the open basic. And this is part 2 to our video from last week. So make sure to click on that in the link below if you haven't seen that one yet. Let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so to start, we're going to demonstrate this basic. I'm gonna be leading and Carolina is gonna be following. Again, like I said, we're in an open position and we're gonna be starting with our rock step. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Carolina's gonna give you some tips on improving your footwork.
Okay, so for the footwork, we want to make sure we don't lower the heel on the first step up to the chassé to the side. Because the most common mistake is for people to lower the heel on each step, and that slows you down and the hip doesn't move. So you want to make sure you don't lower it on the chassé to the side. So it would end up looking like this. You would go to the side so you don't lower the heel, and then you lower the heel. So that's for your chassé to the sides. And for your back rock is the same thing. The heel kisses the floor a little bit, but not all the way down, because that's also gonna slow you down and your hip doesn't have movement to go up all the way. So you would just kiss the floor and go into your side chassé, side chassé.
Yes. So taking that into our connection, when we're holding here in this open position, let's get closer. You can see that we have what's called a cup and hook clasp. So I'm cupping my hand and she's hooking in. Now my tip for you leaders is to mainly use your middle finger and your ring finger to hook at the top of her knuckle. That way you're nice and secure. You're not gonna misconnect or slip out of each other's hand because you have a nice tight connection there. So we wanna make sure we're there. And then the thumb leaders, my tip is to make sure it stays on the outside of her hand, not right on top, and you definitely don't wanna be squeezing. They tend to not like that very much. So you wanna hold, put your thumb out to the side. Some people prefer to hold a little bit higher and put their thumb on the wrist to kind of help keep the follower's wrist straight, which is okay as well. Either is fine as long as you're not squeezing. But I prefer to do this grip here where I'm hooking with the 2 fingers. And then my other one's kind of like I guess it's kind of called a pistol grip, like you're holding a pistol. Anyway. So that's how we're connecting with our hands. Now from here, let's scoot this way. We want to use compression and leverage to lead the rock step. We use compression by coming forward towards the front of our feet with a forward poise, and that gives us some resistance to our partner. We use this anytime we need to send our follower away from us. So in order to do a rock step, we need to come towards each other to lead our partner to go away from us. The biggest mistake I see is dancers begin with their weight smack dab in the middle of their foot and they just step back. And it's okay because I guess you know that you're dancing swing, so the follower is just like, oh, okay, I know what to do, so they just do it on their own. But you're not truly connecting with your partner when you do that. You're kind of just going through the motions. So if you really want to take your dancing to the next level and you want to improve your connection, you need to understand how compression and leverage work. When we compress, we're going into each other like a springboard to work off of each other. And then that creates a tension in our hands, which is when we get to leverage, our furthest point away from our partner before coming back together. And that's essentially what we're doing in a rock step. So we first need to poise our weight towards our partner, connect without letting the elbows go back, to then work off of each other. And then here, like Carolina was saying, not letting that heel touch the ground. Our hip, let's switch sides so you can see our hips. As we step back, hold on. As we step back and our heel stays off the ground, we're pushing into the floor. Both of our hips, my left, her right, are driving up as our foot pushes down into the ground. And this is creating some tension in our hands, which I'm then going to use to bring Carolina forward so we can go into our side chassé. So let's talk about that one more time, because that was kind of intense. So we poise our energy towards our partner to create compression. We then use that to send our partner away. We put pressure in the ball of our back foot, sending that hip up, creating tension in the hands here. This is our leverage. We then use this to spring back to each other to then go into our side chassé. Now, my last tip during the side chassé, all we need to do is maintain this hold with our partner. We don't need to push or pull. We don't need to extend the arms. We just leave the arms toned, resting in front of our body, and we simply move our body to the side and the other side. And our partner will sense that weight change and move with us. So those are our tips today on footwork and connection. We're gonna do a quick recap though. Take it away.
All right, so for the footwork, it was my tip that you don't have to put your heel down until after you finish the first step. So on the second one. And then for the back rack, your heel only wants to kiss the floor, not actually go all the way down, because that's gonna slow you down on both ones.
And it'll mess up your connection, as I was just explaining. So the last part was on connection. We talked about compression and leverage, making sure that you're going into your partner to send them away on the rock step, and then you're connecting through your hip action and tension in the hand to come back. I also did talk a little bit about how the cup and hook clasp works, and to make sure you're not squeezing your partner's hand. They tend not to like that. So make sure you're holding properly and you're taking the time to really connect with your partner so that you can communicate better through dance. Those are our tips today. We hope you enjoyed them. And as always, if you have any questions about what you saw today or suggestions for other videos that you would like us to create, let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to subscribe so that you can get future notifications for our future videos.
Thanks again. We'll see you soon.